Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine. In Search of the Spark by Steve Hillage from Madfish Records. This is one of their early multi-disc box sets with a signed print from the artist inside. I've done quite a few unboxings on these, but I realised that there was a few that I've never got around to doing, and this was one of them. And I'd recently featured the album by Khan on a post, and someone said they'd gone off to listen to it and thought it was fantastic record, and it was because of this set that I even discovered that album in the first place. So let's have a look inside this huge box. This is a look inside Steve Hillage, Searching for the Spark. This is another absolutely enormous Steve Hillage, Madfish box set. So lifting off the lid, this is one of their early editions. So I don't know whether anyone else has had this, but they kind of got it. They were incredibly overprotective with the insides. I bought this from Burning Shed, and they found some at the back of the warehouse. And just like most of these type of box sets from Madfish, it is signed by the artist. So Miquette and Steve Hillage have signed this, so it's an actual authentic signed print. There's a giant book, which I'll come to in a bit. There are 3 posters, one for L, which is coming up on the screen now because I can't open it up on the room I've got. There is also a poster for Fish Rising, and then there is a poster for Motivation Radio as well. And then sitting under that is another book, which I'll come to. And sitting under that are Little Book of Words, number 1, which is all the lyrics for lots of Steve Hillage songs in a little book. There was 2 of those actually, somewhere. Here it is. Miquette, Giraudy and Steve Hillage. I'm sorry if I've obviously mispronounced the name there, but there's a second book of lyrics. So there's 2 books of lyrics in the box. There's also a badge called Sky Drunk Heartbeat Band. And there is also a Steve Hillage plectrum sitting at the bottom. And then the albums go all the way back to Khan's Space Shanty. They've all got gatefold sleeves. All of them. So there's Green. We've got tons and tons of live stuff. Live at Brighton Dome, and also the official recordings like Live Herald, etc. with lots of extra stuff on. For to next. There's just oodles of music in this set. One of my great discoveries was the Khan album. I absolutely love that. And then in this one we've got Deeply Veil, Motivation Radio, Sparks Volume. These are all the kind of there's tons of rare tracks in these, absolutely tons of it. They're all in little gatefold sleeves, which is the norm. Some very, 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 very rare stuff that you can't find anywhere else, and has never been available anywhere else or in these sets, and that's the norm for Madfish. Things very rarely escape into the wild as separate releases. So all the famous albums, and again, lots of rare tracks, live stuff that you probably haven't seen. BBC One in concerts from 1976. If I can I get this to extract itself? From 1976. That's a double CD. And then I've just got the last compartment to show you. I'm sitting just off camera, so it's hard for me to see the angle of how these go in, but anyway. And then we've got System 7, which is more up to date when he was going into trance, almost dance music. Lots of, again, rare stuff. One of my favourites is Fish Rising. Again, as I said, they've all got gatefold sleeves, more live stuff. Tremendous array of music in there. So I'm just going to show you the the books now. So the first book I'll show you is the softback book. This is kind of like the Memorabilia one, and this is like just a story, a diary of Steve. It's life, really, going right through to lots of press cuttings, lots of live photos, tremendous stuff. Much of this I've never seen before, and lots of charts from the music papers at the time. It's a scrapbook of his life. Lots of press releases, press ads, concert flyers, interviews. I mean, as you can see, if you're into Steve Hillage, and some of you will be watching this out of curiosity, perhaps, to think, wow, wouldn't it be great if all artists could have a memento, to use an AI phrase, a treasure trove of things where you could just dip into and you can just immerse yourself in an artist that you think a lot of, or you've loved for many, many years or even decades. I certainly can. You think about the way that some catalogues have been represented, whether it's Deep Purple or Led Zeppelin. You think, why couldn't someone do something like this? I mean, that was an impressive book, was it not? Look at this one. Then you got this, which is again typical Madfish, and then it will now go through in absolute train spotter detail the whole career. But also, as I've said before, they will feature full page photographs of albums, of the front cover, the back cover, the gatefold, full background of what was going on at the time. Yes, right through to Gong. But everything is in here. So it's, for those of you who are there or were following Steve at this point, the memories are just going to come flooding back. This is the sort of thing where I think I've mentioned it before when I've reviewed other Madfish sets. It's like going on a day out. It's like a weekend away. You take this kind of box off the shelf and you just decide to live with it for a while and, immerse yourself with the memorabilia, the books, the music, and just have a great time. And that's how I see these. I don't see them as something you buy and you think it might be worth a lot of money. These are expensive sets and they do go up in value, but these are for fans. The record label puts these together fan first. They're thinking, what else could we put in? They're not thinking, what could we get away with not putting in? If they can find it, if they think the fans are going to be interested in it, it's in. And I'm about a quarter of the way through this book. It's just amazing. Some books are kind of like, you think, it's just they've just padded it out. But this they might have thought, oh my God, we're heading towards hundreds of pages. What should we do? But I can't fault it. I can't fault it. And I know people who've got this set. It's one of their favourite sets of all time. And if I'm absolutely honest, I would say that, probably 90% of my favourite box sets ever are all from Madfish. My number one is the Vintage Years by Wishbone Ash. They're all equal. This, the Gentle Giant one, Unburied Treasure, even recent ones like Horselips, John Mayall, they're all amazing. And I think a lot of people just think, well, they're worth the investment. I think when I bought the Wishbone Ash one, it was the most money I'd ever spent on a box set. But as soon as I lifted the lid, I thought, this is worth every penny. There's something about them. It's about like taking the top off a box, your iPhone, new iPhone when you buy it, and you think, this is luxurious. This is just amazing. I mean, I'm waffling on here, but hopefully you can get a feel for it. So if you do see this for a reasonable price, and you're a Steve Hillage fan, because these things won't happen again. This is signed. I can't imagine the artists are going to sit and sign another 2,000 copies. They are, and the lot of the live stuff has not escaped, as I said, and that's with any of these sets. Just the attention to detail, the data, and all the albums at the back, and then we've got the complete list of every single disc at the back. where all the live stuff is from. Absolute all the detail, all the rare stuff, and obviously with Steve Hillage, some of these tracks are really long as well. So lovely design. So that is Steve Hillage, Searching for the Spark. In Search of the Spark by Steve Hillage. How amazing is that? Seriously, I thought this was out of my reach. It was £450, £500, and all of a sudden, on Instagram, Burning Shed said they found a few at the back of the warehouse, and they were going to sell them off at £199. And I thought, I'm going to go for it. I've seen other people talk about it in the Facebook group for Now Spinning Magazine. I thought, it just looks too good to not go for that price. I'd only got like Motivation Radio and the Green Album and L, but I thought, why not? And as you can see when you've gone through it, it's amazing. I've got so many of these sets, and they're just amazing. I bought the first one, the Vintage Years by Wishbone Ash, when I was for my 60th birthday. It was a present, and I'd never spent that amount of money on anything before for music. And I thought, what have I done? God, this, is it going to be worth it? I'm going to really regret this. I could have spent money on food. And I took the lid off when it arrived, and I thought, wow. And as you can see, when you look at anything, these kind of sets, it's a wow factor. Because if you've got the band's entire career in a box, but you haven't just got the music, you've got the whole story. You've even got a signed print, so they're with you. The artist is actually with you. They're involved with you. And the other thing, I guess, about coming with an artist where you only have about 3 or 4 records, and there's about 30 odd discs or something in these sets, is you don't carry any emotional baggage with it. I was talking to someone the other day at the Now Spinning Arms, our virtual pub where we meet, where patrons and YouTube members meet, and we're talking about the Uriah Heep big box that came out a while ago, and that's totally different animal to this. It's just not in the same league. However, the story I'm trying to align this to is that, well, sometimes when you know a band from the beginning, you carry a lot of emotional baggage. So if a band lineup changes and you've got used to a certain lineup and then the singer changes, it makes you kind of think, without that person, it's not really the same band. But if you get into a band later on in life, it's just the band's music. So yeah, you notice there's a different singer or different guitarist, but you're just on a learning curve. You don't think, I don't listen to that because that person's not in it. And so with this and other Madfish sets, I haven't been fully aware of who's gone in and out of the band. All I know is it's just this whole body of work that I can just dip into. I mean, because obviously Steve Hillage towards the end is like doing ambient, almost disco dance music, and from the hippie gong inspired stuff at the beginning. But I just love the journey. So I just wanted in this video to show you inside this, in case any of you see it pop up on Discogs or eBay and you think, should I or shouldn't I? At least now you know what's in it if you do go for this set. So I hope that's helpful, and that was the prime reason why I've done this video. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor. Please subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the videos that I I am doing, and you'll see them all before anyone else if you become a patron or YouTube member. And of course, you'd be more than welcome to join our private Facebook group and come along to the private WhatsApp groups as well. Oh, and get a t-shirt or a mug, and you get 15% off if you subscribe. So thanks very much. Thank you for being here. Take care, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon.